Nah. Anybody feel this shit but me? A man can't show emotion.
A man?
Frank the plant is one of the supporting characters of the TV series, Harley Quinn. Obviously, Frank is not a man, it is a mutated Venus flytrap but still calls itself a man. He is very talkative and wisecracking, sometimes being sarcastic and foul-mouthed. Also, Frank knows how to drive. Anthropomorphic approaches are widely employed in fantasy movies and animations to create fictional plant characters, most of which become very popular with audiences. But the creation of fictional plant characters or other methods of enforcing anthropocentrism, the essence of plant life on these characters have been weakened by assigning human traits to their roles. In this context, the use of anthropomorphism achieves an entertaining effect and offers a different perspective towards plants, but the attribute and the identity of the plant are blurred by the process of anthropomorphizing. Anthropomorphizing tends to highlight the uniqueness of humans, whilst simultaneously diminishing the intrinsic value of plants. Thus, the inappropriate anthropomorphizing of plants has led to the radical alienation of people vis-à-vis nature, dooming the lower echelons of plant life. Symmetry was widely used in artworks during the Renaissance and Baroque periods. It not only gives the artworks a sense of geometric precision, but also expresses the concept of humanism. Through the Renaissance, instead of God, humanism placed man at the center of the world in art and culture. The confidence in humankind's capacity to impose order on the natural world substantially increased during this period. And the influence of humanism consequently translated into a style of garden design and ornamentation. As argued by Singh, gardens, an interference with nature, became the border between wild and domesticated nature. Plants were forced to move from outside to inside, leaving their nature state to achieve human goals. For example, during 17th century, the French formal gardens were displays of the power and wealth of prominent political figures. The straight lines and strict geometric form of the garden design and landscaping conveyed the message that the king ruled over his territories and nature. The geometric style of topiary at Versailles is a demonstration of control. Symmetric ornamental shapes to which plants were modified became the totem that manifests the triumph of man over nature. Plants have always been regarded as background to life, as people tend not to pay much attention of them. Like Stefano Mancuso said, most people who bother to think about plants at all tend to regard them as the mute, immobile furniture of our world, useful enough, and generally attractive, but obviously second-class citizens in the republic of life on Earth. The factors that result in our contemporary disregard for plants goes back to arbitrary stratification of the world's contents according to Western conceptions. From the inorganic to the human, everything was classified in the hierarchy based on its attributes. In this context, due to a lack of consciousness and an inability of movement, plants are usually regarded as less complex life forms, especially compared to more complex beings. The ranking of organisms started from the theory of Aristotle. Around 350 BC, Aristotle classified all kinds of organisms by identifying the level of their souls, believing that soul to be the essence of all natural beings. In Aristotle's biology, there are three hierarchical levels: plants, animals, and people. Plants have a vegetative soul, responsible for growth, sustenance, and reproduction. Animals have both a vegetative and a sensitive soul, the former enabling animals to ensure continuation of their own kind, and a sensitive soul makes animals able to move and sense. Finally, the rational soul and rationality is possessed only by humans. Aristotle ranked humans above all other living and non-living things because they alone have the ability to reason and reflect. The theory of soul places humans at the top of the pyramid and evaluates the level of living things based on human perspective. This anthropocentric view underestimates the nature of plants, and overemphasizes the ability of humans. Therefore, the human-plant relationship needs to be developed based on rejecting all forms of human exceptionalism, by admitting that humans are not the most special entities on Earth, and by acknowledging our artificial separations and our classifications between plants. And the practical way to encourage people to recognize the importance of plants can be achieved by interpreting plants by re-valuing nature as a site of intrinsic value.